Hi everyone. Thanks for joining me again to read another story from the Bible. First, I'd like to acknowledge who's joining me today. I see Leah and Creed, Nathan, Evan, Hunter, Gabriel, Gideon, Miss Violet, Ada, Abigail, and Adam. And last but not least, we have baby Faith. And anyone else who is joining us, welcome. Today we're going to read about Abraham. Once there was a man named Abraham who lived in Haran with his wife Sarah. One day God spoke with him. "If you leave your country and people and travel to a land I will show you, you will become the father of a great nation. I will bless your name and make it great." So Abraham left his country and people and traveled to a new land where God had sent him, the land of Canaan. Where God had sent Abram was good to him, and Abraham grew rich in cattle, gold, and silver. One night God spoke again to Abraham. "Look up at the stars and count if you can. Your people will be as many as the stars in the sky." Abraham looked sad. "But I have no sons, and Sarah and I are too old to have children." "You must have faith in me," God replied. Soon after, in the heat of the day, Abraham, sitting in the shade of his tent, looked up suddenly to see three men standing before him. Abraham sent for some water. "Rest yourselves under a tree, and I will get you some bread," he said. Abraham rushed into the tent and said to Sarah, "Prepare some bread, cream, and milk." Then Abraham set this food and some tender meat before the three men. After they ate, the three men said, "Abraham, your wife will have a son, and his name will be Isaac." Sarah heard this and laughed. "I'm too old to have a baby," she said. "Why does your wife laugh?" the men asked. "Is there anything too difficult for the Lord to do?" Abraham realized the men were sent by God and knew that he would have a son. Soon the three strangers asked directions to the cities Sodom and Gomorrah. "There's much wickedness in these cities," the strangers said. "They must be destroyed." Abraham was worried because his nephew Lot lived in the cities. So he pleaded with God, "Will you spare these cities if you can find good men that live there?" God said he would save the cities if he could find 10 good men that lived there. But the cities were so wicked that 10 righteous people could not be found. By this time, the two strangers had gone to Sodom and Gomorrah. They warned Lot to flee from the cities that were to be destroyed. "Take your wife and daughters and run to the hills," they urged Lot. "Don't look back, for if you do, you will be destroyed." But Lot's wife did look back and was turned into a pillar of salt. Soon the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were no more. Years later, the stranger's promise came true. Sarah and Abraham had a son. Abraham and Sarah named their son Isaac, which means full of laughter, since Sarah had laughed by the tent when the strangers spoke. Isaac grew up to be a wonderful son, and Abraham and Sarah loved him very much. Years later, when Isaac was still a young man, God put Abraham to a test. God said, "Bring your son to the land of Moriah. There is a mountain there. Climb to the top, and I would like you to sacrifice your son to me." Because Abraham trusted God, he did as God asked him. But deep inside he was sad, for he loved Isaac as much as a father could love a son. At the top of the mountain, an angel called out from heaven to Abraham, 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 I know how much you trust in God. You do not have to sacrifice your son. Abraham and Isaac rejoiced, and God blessed them for their righteousness with a happy life and many descendants. What do you think, boys and girls? Is there anything too hard for God? If you have a problem, is there anything too hard that God cannot fix it? What does He want us to do as Christians? He wants us to rely on Him for everything. He wants you to pray to Him and pour your heart out, and He will answer. So that's what we have learned from Abraham. Don't hold anything back from God. Give up anything that you love more than God, and believe that God can answer any prayer. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.